Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. By show of hands, how many of you have ever dropped a goal before? All right. Well, tonight I'm going to share with you a system that should empower you to follow through on more of your goals. Carol Dweck, a child psychologist from Stanford University, has recently pioneered research into the idea of a growth mindset. She says that a growth mindset is the student's ability to perform and believe in his or her abilities to improve. The opposite of that is a fixed mindset, where this person believes that intelligence and other traits that they possess are stable and fixed, and they become more concerned with not making mistakes and appearing to be smart and taking those chances. So the first G in the system is a growth mindset. A growth mindset is imperative to maintaining your motivation to excel at your goals. I found a great story that illustrated this by Leah Culver. Leah Culver recently ended her startup. She was a founder of a startup and wanted to transition into a calmer lifestyle. She decided to pick up a new hobby, which was jogging. She knew that she wasn't going to be the fastest runner, so she decided, well, that's not going to be my goal. My goal is to not quit. She ran her first 2 miles. Each mile was 12 minutes. She thought that was really good for a non-athlete. So she stuck with her goal of just running as much as she could. In fact, the only time that she broke her consistency of running from 4 to 5 times a week was when she was in Hawaii, and that was for 3 days. 5 months later, after starting jogging, she entered her first 5K, in which she was a Halloween race. She wore some fairy wings and was chasing after a guy wearing an owl on his head as a costume. And she ran it in a time that she felt very happy about, and she was super excited. She didn't give up. Her goal was imperative in developing this new habit of jogging. So her singular goal was do not quit. It was not to be the fastest runner, not to be the best performer. It was just to not quit. The second G in the system is gratitude. Sometimes when we're pursuing goals in our life, whether they be as simple as having a new hobby or as lofty as being an entrepreneur, it can be difficult. It can be stressful. It can be hard. Because let's be honest, as human beings, we don't always hit our mark. So when you miss your mark, it can be very stressful. It can be very depressing. So gratitude is a key ingredient to push you through your goals. They say that if you have an attitude of gratitude, it's impossible to feel anger or depression. So I encourage you to think about something that you're grateful the next time that you're mad about a business deal going south, or a sale that doesn't happen, or an investor that pisses you off. You now have the G squared system at your disposal, and I look forward to hearing about all of your future endeavors. Now I'll take any questions that you may have. Sean.
Say you have a growth mindset, but you have a friend or colleague that has a fixed mindset. Is there any way to convert them over to a growth mindset or explain to them why that could be beneficial?
Without knowing too much more detail about the situation, my first piece of advice would be to be the example. So I don't know this. Do you mind sharing with the particular?
Sure. Yeah, it's a roommate of mine. Just doesn't really have his act together. Doesn't go to grad school very well. Can't really keep his schedule. He's just got lack of motivation and direction.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely say be the example. Even if you're not necessarily going to grad school, if you're showing up, you're consistent, and you're improving in your own life, that may or may not be the catalyst that helps your roommate do the same. But if there's one thing that I can tell you for certain is that you can't control anybody else. You might be able to influence them, and I know how difficult this can be because I have a family member that is in the same bucket. As much as I want to hammer him to pursue his dreams, he's got to do it for himself. The only thing that you can do is pursue your dreams and lead by example. Please. I'm going to be sad if you don't.
Do you think it's better to have one focus, one goal for one thing that you're pursuing, or does it create problems for you to have multiple things as goals? Like, if I want to run, is it because I want to look better and just feel healthy, or do you think it's better just to focus on one?
I think they should be complementary. So in this instance, it's to run to either feel better or to look better. So I would say find which of those motivators resonates with you more. Because some might argue that to look better might be what some call a vanity metric, which once you look better and get into shape, it can be fleeting. But if it's to feel better because you're releasing endorphins and dopamine when you're getting some physical activity going, then that could be more sustainable. We have time for one more question.
Is the gratitude that you talk about this specific goal, or just in general things about your life? So like if a deal goes south, do you say, well, at least I was really good at so-and-so of the sales process? Or is it, well, at least I have, a family that loves me? What do you recommend and what works best?
I think either or could work, definitely. Some have a practice of waking up first thing in the morning and having a journal where they write down 3 things that they're grateful for. So they start the morning right, start the day off right. And the same thing at the end of the day. What are the 3 things I'm most grateful for? The health of my family, my own health, the fact that I have loving children. Those are great examples. And as far as the first part about, hey, the deal went south, but I did my best, that connects more to the growth mindset, because the growth mindset believes that there is no such thing as failure. In fact, failure is nothing more than feedback, because it gives you that lesson to learn and improve in your process the next time around. Thank you.